Alrighty then, we're finally back at it again with episode 3 of the Pokemon Dexholders explained. This time we're going to the third generation of Dexholders, who are from the Hoenn region. As always, if you're new to this series, make sure to check out the other episodes as well, where I cover the Kanto and Johto regions. With all that said and done, let's begin. First up, we have the Warrior of the Woods, Sapphire. Sapphire's first Pokedex is a Generation 3 Hoenn Pokedex, which he is given by her father, Professor Burke, in order to help him with his research. In the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire chapter of the manga, Sapphire got a new Pokedex being a Generation 6 Hoenn Dex. The special skill of Sapphire is the skill of the Conqueror, which sounds pretty sick, doesn't it? Well, that's because it is sick, as the skill was given to Sapphire due to her obtaining all 8 Hoenn gym badges in the span of 80 days. I know that doesn't sound all that impressive considering we can do that in like 2 days, but in the actual Pokemon world, that's no joke. Think of it like becoming a master athlete at a sport you're in. The thing about Sapphire's special skill is that it's actually to do with her mindset more than anything else. As whenever she sets her mind to do something, she'll master it. Like if she really sets her mind to do it, she could really do anything. Whether that's beat the gym leaders in 80 days like we've seen, or maybe make the Pokemon special in anime. Who knows? Not a bad skill at all. As for showcasing this, as I said, she managed to get all the Hoenn gym badges. Next up, we have Mr. Pretty Boy himself, Ruby. Ruby's first Pokedex is the exact same as Sapphire's, and he got it by mistake after helping Professor Birch with some Mighty Enna. After a few more mishaps happen and the story continues, he ends up keeping it. Just like Sapphire, he also upgrades his in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire chapter. Ruby's special skill is the skill of the Charmer. Yeah, it's a lot less cool sounding than Sapphire's, but let's not knock it until we hear what it does. The Charmer title was given to Ruby as whether he's competing in contests or fighting enemies, he prioritizes charm. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that's pretty much it. Okay, I promise you it's actually not that bad of a title, considering what Ruby's goal is. Ruby's goal is to collect all the contest ribbons in the Hoenn region, so with this skill, Ruby's goal was a breeze, and he can also bring out the best of a Pokemon's beauty, making him the perfect contest competitor. So if he was up against someone like Dawn from the Pokemon anime, I'd place my bets on him. Although he doesn't have a special skill that helps with fighting, I just want to say this guy can handle his own very easily. As for him showcasing this ability, as I said, it would be completing his goal of collecting all the Hoenn ribbons. Last but not least, we have the Pokemon prodigy Emerald. Emerald's story of getting a Pokedex is a bit complicated, so hold on and listen to this. So, just like the other 2 Hoenn trainers, he got his Pokedex from Professor Birch, but he was actually meant to get one from Professor Oak, but he gave it to Professor Birch, as I mentioned before. And then Professor Birch gave it to Wally, and Wally had the Pokedex for a while as well as the starter Trico, but then Wally lost the Pokedex and the Trico and gave it to Emerald, which is now how Emerald got his Hoenn Pokedex. Just like the other 2, Emerald upgraded his Pokedex in the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire chapter. Some of you may have realized that Chris was also chosen to have a Pokedex by Professor Oak, and her skill was amazing. So what about Emerald? Well, let me explain, because his skill is also pretty confusing. Emerald's special skill is the skill of the Calmer, being able to calm down any rampant Pokemon. Emerald does this with one of the many gadgets he has, specifically the Shooter, which lets Emerald place a soil from a Pokemon's birthplace, and if he shoots at it, the rampaging Pokemon will calm down. Emerald can actually tell the birthplace of a Pokemon, due to constantly being moved around family when he was younger. With this natural ability, combined with his gadgets, this is where Emerald truly shines. As every single one of Emerald's team are Pokemon that he's calmed down, and they're completely loyal to him. The most simple way to explain it is it's kind of like a Pokemon Ranger's capture styler, but permanent since you become good friends. Although this wasn't confirmed, it's probably this level of Pokemon understanding that helped him befriend the Eon duo, Latios and Latias, who assist Emerald greatly. The showcase of this ability, as I mentioned before, was his whole team, as he calmed them down all by himself. And that's all the Hoenn Dexholders. Some of you may have realized I didn't talk about Wally, but that's because he's not an official Dexholder. But if you want me to talk about him in a separate video, I can make a video about the extra Dexholders. So, what do you think about the Hoenn Dexholders? Do you like their abilities? And which one would you like to have personally? And if you haven't watched my other 2 videos on the previous Dexholders, then make sure to go watch that now. With all that said and done, be sure to like and subscribe for more Pokemon manga videos, as I'll be going over the Sinnoh Dexholders very soon. Now then, take care.